Hi, I'm Tracy Anderson, and welcome to The Longevity Game, a podcast where we connect with some of the most accomplished people on earth to learn how to live long, healthy, and fulfilled lives. Today, we are honored to be joined by Dr. Shefali, an expert in family dynamics and personal development. I interviewed Dr. Shefali many years ago, and I'm so happy to check in with her again. Dr. Shefali received her doctorate in clinical psychology from Columbia University, and she specializes in the integration of Western psychology and Eastern philosophy. She has written many books, 3 of which are New York Times bestsellers, including her 2 landmark books, The Conscious Parent and The Awakened Family. Thank you for being here, Dr. Shefali. You are one of my favorite motivators of our time, really. I don't think that anyone is packaging the gems of like our potential as parents, as lovers, the way that you are. And we spoke how many years ago? It was pre-pandemic when I first we first did the performance program. You came so generously. And since then, from then to now, I watch you give and give and give, and I watch people receive it, and you're like, the message I feel like is getting heard, and it's people are hungry for it. Do you find that?
I do feel people are hungry, and I think what you're speaking to is that they're hungry for somebody or a message that isn't canned or packaged or contrived, and something that takes them out of their bloody big ego, Otherwise, every other message is somehow connected to their ego.
Straight to it.
Look younger, look fitter, look skinnier, which are beautiful messages, but they keep us kind of, in that cycle.
It's that sucker for marketing that we all were programmed to become.
Yeah.
And then when you're really a teacher or a seeker of something much more mystical, if you will, or deeply meaningful or human, it's a tough thing. We were just talking before how it's a difficult thing to want your work to be part of your gift in a community. Like you want your gifts to contribute to the community without any of that.
Yep, it's really hard. It's really hard to stay in integrity and not allow culture's seduction to pollute, to contaminate, to manipulate who we are. And I've had to fight that as well.
Yeah. I have too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes sucking you, come to the other side. And then you see the others on the other side and you're like, oh, they look so pretty. I want some of that. But if it's not aligning, and I always come back to that, but who am I and what is my message? And part of that is being disciplined. You have to learn to say no to all the trinkets and the baubles and stay really deep and true.
You have to learn to, I think, feel your own nature, and your own, the word balance is it's used and misused and overused so grossly today, but it's an important word. And one of the things that first attracted me to you was your message on parenting. I'm a mom, a 25-year-old and an 11-year-old. Yes. And I found that when I heard your message on parenting, that a lot of what my oldest, my son, would say to me was a lot of what you were saying to parents. But I heard it also in him, where we try to love on them and give them this and be so in their world in a way that kind of robs them from their own world, right?
Oh my God, absolutely. So my message for those who don't know is about, in conscious parenting, is really kind of contrary to what we were raised in.
Right.
So the traditional parenting model that we were all infected by.
Infected by is so perfectly put.
Yeah.
Bless our parents' hearts.
Yeah, bless them, because they were infected by the same indoctrination.
Exactly.
So that big, mess that we inherited really was a model based on separation, hierarchy, dominance, manipulation, chaos, fear, shame, guilt, blame, a lot of punition, a lot of,
Yes.
finger pointing, and you will do as I say, or. So imagine, right? We were all raised by that deep, abiding sense of, if I don't conform, if I don't wear the mask, if I don't put on the show, if I don't grandstand and bow down to the great leaders, which are my parents, then I will pay a price.
Yes.
So the conscious parenting
Which could
model,
be love,
Yes.
security,
worth, belonging.
even though they wrapped all that up in love.
Oh, yeah. I tell people, don't use the word love. We have so polluted that word
Yes,
and
it's
mutated
true.
it. Call it attachment. We're attached, deeply attached.
Yes.
And we're enmeshed and we're deeply needy and we're possessive and we're controlling. But no parent likes to hear all this. They're like, no, we love our children. And then I say to them, but love in its essence is trusting, it's expansive, it's limitless, it's freeing. Your child doesn't feel any of that.
I know.
So the conscious parenting model tries to help the parents see their bullshit in a gentle, compassionate way, and how it is that we're imposing our garbage on our children, and how that is, like you said, robbing them of their self-sovereignty, of their self-governance.
Right.
We, in the name of love, in the name of deep care, we are infusing them with conditionality, with fear, and with the confines of our own very desperate egos.
It's such an important message. When did you decide to dedicate all that you knew you're a practicing psychologist, right? Psychiatrist or psychologist, practicing psychologist. When did you say, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to focus on reaching as many parents as I can, because if I can reach as many parents as I can and change this misidentification of what parenting, good parenting looks like, I can save the next generation's souls.
Yeah, well, I don't have such a big
In
vision.
my mind, that's what you said. I feel like you are saving. I feel like even in my own, I feel like much of your advice that I chose to take has helped me have my biggest growth steps with both of my children.
Yeah. And it's my greatest humility to receive that, and my joy that I get to do this. So I haven't paused my psychological practice. I have a full practice, and I keep that.
Yes.
Because my clients keep me on the ground, keep me humble, keep me connected. I know what's happening. I know what families are facing.
Yeah.
Without my real life clients, I wouldn't be as effective.
In my lane, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I will never stop teaching.
Yes. So being a teacher is what we are.
Yes.
We, at our core, we are teachers, and the best teachers are the best students. So you and I are the best students in the world.
I can't do what I do if I don't learn myself.
Exactly. So as long as I keep that as the fulcrum, I don't get a big ego. I don't lose my way, because I'm just a meager student, with a big mouth.
a student and a contributor.
Yes.
A student.
Yes.
In service.
In service of the message. So I really began this because client after client in their 30s, in their 60s, I'm seeing the successful corporate CEO, the successful lawyer, all of them crumbling to their knees because, mommy didn't say this to me, or I don't feel seen by my daddy. It just comes down to the same core essential needs of, do you see me? Do you hear me? Am I valid? Am I worthy? So I began to understand very early on that, damn, these first 7 years of childhood are the key. And your entire next 70 years is unlocking those
7 years. And there's a closure at 7, right? Isn't there some kind of brain or emotional closure?
I think emotionally we go out into the world. I think we more go out into the world. So it's that very precious, treasure-filled time where the parent can really screw it up.
It's
where
true.
They're very absorbent. And if you haven't parented them enough, so they go out into the world really Swiss cheese, full of holes, ready to be influenced, right?
Yeah.
You can turn them, ply them into any shape of the culture's making.
Right.
So you want to kind of fill them with a foundational grip that holds on to who it is they are. But for the most part, we parents don't have that within ourselves.
No,
So
true.
we are flailing. We lose out on those first 6-7 years, and our
Right.
children go out lost at sea,
Yeah.
just like we are. So with compassion, this is not to blame parents. This is not to act like I'm some superior parent. In fact, my greatest push to conscious parenting came because I saw my own ego, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. It's just that I knew
We all have it.
We have it right now,
Yeah.
today. Right
Yeah.
now, I saw my ego.
Right.
Today, you will see your ego.
Yeah.
So to act like we don't have one is the biggest ego.
Right.
And the biggest delusion.
Right.
So I'm always humbled by my ego. But the only difference between me and someone else is that I'm not afraid to call it.
Yeah.
And
What it is. Identify it.
Identify it.
Hey, girl, you need to
Here
calm
you
down
are.
over there.
Yeah, go take a seat. You need to back down.
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid to see it.
Yeah.
And then, as I do in all my books, I teach people, now what do you do once you've seen it? Well, the ego is here to protect, our desperate little selves that we left behind in childhood. And it's a call to return to reparent that self that was never parented. So this whole model kind of became very clear to me when I saw my own broken self trying to, be a righteous parent and failing miserably. And I didn't like who I was. I didn't like being controlling and fixated and yelling. But those were the only tools I had.
Yeah.
And most parents they look in their back pocket,
They're
control,
like, oh, I feel
anger, shame. That's all we have.
And it's also like, I need to get my child to do these things, and
Yes.
these things aren't working. So now I'm angry, or now I'm this, or now I'm going to try that. Do you think that that this work on self as a parent should happen quietly, like where your child doesn't realize that you're studying with Dr. Shefali, like secretly, because I also find that, isn't it the ego that wants to say what they're learning, I mean, I feel like I've watched adults as a child growing up where it's like, oh, your parent is in that phase now, or they're doing that thing now. Okay. Or like which book, you have a new book out, correct?
Yes, it's called The Parenting Map.
The Parenting Map. Great. I mean, how much more clear? We can all put our Dora the Explorer backpacks on and
that's
go
what's
become
missing.
better
No
parents.
one's told us how
no
to
one's
do
told,
it.
but I like that map because
Yeah.
it's a real step-by-step guide, right?
Yeah.
But your first book,
The Conscious Parent.
Conscious Parent, is
yeah.
such a beautiful book.
Yeah.
It's a breakthrough.
Yeah. And I didn't write it for it to be a breakthrough. I had never fancied that this would become a movement now. And it's so heartwarming that conscious parenting is now a thing. And
Yes.
people understand it. They're not afraid to say that was my ego. Now parents can say it with courage and own it.
Right.
I mean, that was my mission. And I remember when I started, it was so daunting because no one is more defensive than the parent. Our entire identity is wrapped in how our children are, which is the problem.
Yes.
Right? We need to have our own identity without our children being the definition of who we are.
Absolutely.
But when I first began telling parents, I got a lot of pushback. I mean, I still get pushback, but I got major pushback back then. And not more than 5 or 10 people read my book, like I think for at least the whole year.
Oh my God.
But parent by parent, mother by mother, really, this is a revolution of mothers, began to dare to go, is she saying something that is
We need
kind
to
of
hear.
true?
Yeah.
I need to hear this. So I got 10 brave mothers who then told another 10. And then slowly this moved forward. And I want people who are listening to understand that your success or my success is really paved in very tiny incremental moments.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't just blow up.
But also it's a return. I think we have something in common where with my work or with your work, it's something that is written in us naturally. It's like part of our primal information that we're born with. It is the systems that have knocked it out of us, right? So when I came out with my way of moving years ago, people were like, why does she have these tiny weights? What is she doing flinging around? Why are we learning new choreography every single week? I'm like, why is this so dynamic?
Yeah.
Why are you not instructing me with your mouth and telling me where to put my body? And I'm like, actually, because your body knows you have so much more power in your body. You mean to tell me you don't know how to lunge? You know how to lunge.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do these things and you can be more dynamic and you can use more systems in yourself. It wasn't that I was writing some new code. I was just returning to us. And I think in so many ways, what your first book did for me was say like, gosh, none of this feels real natural to me anyway, but what she's saying sounds really natural to me. Like the way
what
that
I
we should
teach
be.
is so obvious to
Yes.
That's what you mean, that the way you teach movement is so organic, authentic, the way we should have been doing it all along.
Yes.
The same
It's the way we did do it, running through the woods too, by the way.
100%. So in terms of conscious parenting, I teach parents that all this extra nonsense that you are so stressed about is all non-essential.
Yeah.
We have attached to it as if it's important.
Correct.
And when you go back to the basics, to that this is a life that we get to live, one life in this body, to express it however we authentically need to, even if it's contrary to culture's hallmarks for happiness and success and achievement. And if we can just keep it that simple, your child is a superstar already.
Yes.
But when you add labels, when you say you need to be, you know, a very good Catholic girl or very good soccer player or any label, any label.
Any label.
Now you've attached something that is beyond the authentic essence. And now there's a chance it's going to backfire because it's not who they authentically are. They're carrying it.
Yeah.
And now it's artificial.
Then they're carrying your expectation of what their potential might be. They're carrying your dreams. They're carrying
unmet fantasies, expectations, what culture wants. What if I just said a good girl? You have an idea of what that looks like. You have an idea of what that looks like. Or perfection. You know, I would like a perfect child. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So as your child, now I'm like, okay, mommy, is this good enough?
Yeah.
Should I curl my hair more?
Right.
Maybe I need to lose more weight. What will make you feel I am perfect? So now I'm abducting my authentic core from my being. I'm like saying, go away. You know, I'm leaving you. I'm abandoning you. And I'm going to now listen to my mother's idea of perfection or my father's idea of success.
Yeah.
And I'm now going to be void to my own knowing.
Yeah.
And then when we're 40 years old, we are lost at sea. Now we've had a couple of marriages, 10 children, you know what I mean?
Right.
A whole career.
Or the one marriage we don't want to be in or
and
whatever.
Like, how did I get here? How did I get here? Oh, we got here through a methodical, sequenced, precisely executed abandonment of the soul.
And the map, does that teach us how to find our soul?
Yes, to go back home.
To go back home.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so beautiful. But the parents have to go back home first.
Yes.
To make sure that the child doesn't ever separate from their home.
Exactly. The child is
this
never
is
lost.
highly preventative. This book would be very preventative.
Right. But of course, the parent typically will only pick it up when they're in the hell zone of
They're
parenting.
like, oh no.
Yeah. But
my
it's
child slams the door and doesn't speak to me. And it really isn't that dissimilar to the movement because when you watch a young child moving, they're not judging themselves. They're moving free with curiosity, with adrenaline, with dynamic, with unstructured movement. And it's the system that starts to tell you. And parents also, they put their kids in all these classes so young that are telling the child, well, this is how you move. This is first position, or this is a turn. And they're correcting them. So for Penny, poor Penny is like, thanks, Mom. Now I'm like catching up because I do actually want to dance, but I wouldn't put her in anything young because I was like, no, you move. I'll put on music. I'll follow you.
Right.
You just move.
Right.
Because I think it's so important that you've got that small window of time, that 1 to 7,
to make
sure that
free, unconditioned, unconditioned by culture. I write in one of my books that my daughter was 8 years old and I took her for a structured dance class.
Yeah.
And I was told, oh, it's too late. She'll have to be with the 3-year-old.
Oh, see, I disagree with them. You did the right thing.
Of course. And I was like,
be with the 3-year-old.
I was like, why didn't
Come
I
on.
get the letter? I was like, does
memo.
everybody know this, that you're supposed to put your kids at the age of 3?
No. You did it right.
I know. But this
In
is,
my opinion.
but
in
this
my
is what
opinion.
we're up against, a highly codified, instructed, conditioned system that
Society.
bases who you are on the external. So no wonder now when we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s, we base our entire world on the selfie, on how culture looks at us, on how many likes we get, because our whole worth has been based on this from a young age. So this is the danger, and it's a toxic message that parents need to unlearn in their own lives, the separation of their worth from the external. That is the key.
Yeah.
Your worth has to be defined by yourself.
And how do parents today, they're going to have to go the extra 10,000 miles because we are in this very connected world of media where we all have a platform if we choose, and most people have them. And if you're a parent, and I see this a lot all over the place, you're sharing your parenting journey on your station. Even if you think your station is just friends and family, or even if it's private for just a group of people, we aren't, I mean, we're evolving, but evolving just means changing. It doesn't necessarily mean we're getting better. So how today, what do you think is an appropriate amount of sharing your child on social media?
0.
Yeah.
What reason does your child need to be on social media?
Right.
Except for your own fancy.
Right.
You've decided they're cute and they should be shared. Well, every child is cute for the most part. But they didn't consent to be shared in this exhibitionistic, exaggerated, show-off, grandstanding way. Now, parents would say,
look at this beautiful woman. I just want everyone, this is a tough pill to swallow. And I feel for a lot of women out there. I'm sure that you parents in general, you had a real reaction to that 0, right? I don't know what camera is going to get this home better, but what is the feeling if it's boiling up in some parent that shares their child a lot right now that is like,
and they've
what do we tell them to do right now? Because it's not you. You're helping
I'm
them.
just with the message. They can just take a pause and just hear it out and ask yourself if this resonates with you.
Yes.
Find out, why is she saying that?
Yes.
Why is it triggering me right now? So the reason why I don't agree with children being, on exhibition is
on someone else's channel.
On any channel is because they do not give consent. Now, a parent will say, but my child loves it. She says, put it on, mommy. The child doesn't know consent. Just like, now this is going to really poke your listeners, but go with me. Just like a person who's a bit too intoxicated cannot give sexual consent.
Yeah.
A child cannot give this kind of social consent. It cannot. It doesn't understand.
But their brain also only has a small spotlight.
Yeah, it doesn't understand what this means. So even if your child is begging you, crying, please put me on social media, I love it. You as a parent needs to understand that they don't know what they are consenting to, therefore they are not giving consent. And even after 18, of course, after 18, it's up to them. But you got to hold back. And this is the task of the modern parent. And is it difficult? Yes. Is it tempting? You have the cutest child. She's so talented.
Well, there are parents that don't even think they're good parents if they don't celebrate their child's birthday on social media today.
Yeah. And, let me tell you that if your child, say your child protests, mommy, everybody's parents said Happy Daughter's Day and you're the only one, because I don't do that. Yeah. You can come back and say, that's okay, because I don't need to put my life up for social display. And let me tell you what is the benefit of this. You may lose out in the moment. You may appear to lose out in the moment. But let me tell you, what you're teaching yourself and your children is that your worth will not be up for sale to the world for cheap.
Yeah.
People who want to be in your life are going to have to earn their place in.
Yeah.
And you can share your darling's talents on your little WhatsApp group with your grandmother and your
Yes.
5 cousins who have earned their right in your life.
Yes.
Now, when you live your life by this principle, it's not just social media we're talking about. It's a whole life principle.
It is.
Where you're not selling yourself. And the freedom that comes with that decision that no, we don't do that because our life is not for display is a freedom that is so undeniable and deep and profound that people need to try it to realize what I'm talking about. Because when you do the other part, meaning put your life on display, you may think it's so innocuous. Oh, people love it. I'm bringing joy.
Yeah.
But you are also, without realizing, insidiously, so deeply now enmeshed with that. You're checking, you're scrolling, you're getting ads, you're wondering, you're thinking about your outfit. And let me ask you, which child really can live a childhood with a camera on them the whole time?
Yeah.
That is not normal.
No.
So we have to confront these truths.
Yeah. I think your core values have to be like, if health is one of them, these are all the things. If it is to have a house full of harmony and meaning and memory and depth, it's important. And I do think that the things in my memory that are the most precious are like running in the field or having my mom walk me through the garden and tell me what a forget-me-not is or, a daffodil is. And I try and imagine what it would be like being a child today when my memory is my mom walking me through my Instagram grid.
Right.
And that fucking terrifies me.
Right.
It terrifies me. I'm like, no.
Terrified.
It can't be that, right?
Yeah.
Or I went on that walk and I was being recorded.
I was being recorded and then we got followers. And then you remember that day when we lost our Instagram account, like that would be a tragedy.
If I lost that and my children watched me cry about it, I would be ashamed.
Yeah. I'd lock
I would have
myself up.
taught them nothing
Yes.
of importance.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We have to talk about this. We really do.
Yeah. And
agree.
I'm asking the parent to raise themselves up.
Yeah.
Ask these tough questions because our children deserve parents who do not fall for this game.
Yes.
Of this social seduction. And they need to come to us.
Or make them a part of your brand.
No.
I see it all the time. Like the children are a part of their brand.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
It was right around the same time that I met you. I met Leah Plunkett, who wrote the book Sharenteen. And she was an attorney who cares about how all of this digital information is affecting our children and can later on really affect them. And I asked her, I'm like, what do you think the right amount is? And she said, well, remember, we used to send a holiday card once a year with a family photo. Once a year something or something like that, maybe. But she
So let me
had
tell
a
you
very,
the other side, though. So here we are, we're posting our fabulous life with our talented child and the big mansion and the gardenias and the Bentley. Okay.
Our perfect makeup.
Our perfect makeup. Our trip to, I don't know, Timbuktu.
I don't know either. I didn't go on any holidays this summer. I worked all summer.
Timbuktu. Okay, here's the thing. We have to also take responsibility, at least have the awareness. Do you know what it's causing in the person sitting at home in their boxer shorts with no one to talk to? That is, for me, like so many times I want to share that I'm with these inside these turquoise waters swimming with the dolphins.
Right.
But I think of the man or the woman all alone at home who's just been fired from their job, whose husband just left them. And I'm like, I am not going to rub salt on this wound. This is my personal business. They don't need to feel worse about themselves. And we've created a culture of such narcissistic indulgence. See me, see me, see me. Do you see me? Am I good enough? Look, I'm better than you. Right? And it's filtered, it's artificial, it's a lie. But the poison that it creates in the person who's desperate sitting at home, that is something I will not participate in. Even though I'm like...
It's such a small percentage of people that follow people that could even begin to go on some of these like a boat in Europe for
I think it's irresponsible of us, and at least us out there who are leaders in the field of transformation. We have to really take it as a moral impetus to not engage to just look better. Because,
Right.
we may get a few more likes, but for me, it's what am I creating out in the world? What reverberation?
Right.
What image? What am I saying to people out there? That fancy holidays is the answer?
Right.
That's why they're miserable in the first place, because
Yeah.
they've bought into that.
Yes.
So I'm not going to stroke that more.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them, no, where you are is good enough.
Right.
You are good as you are.
Right.
And that's why I try as best I can to show up, without makeup and looking, sweaty, or I try my best to look as basic as my ego will allow.
Right. Well, first of all, there's nothing basic about you, but I mean, we all wish we looked like Dr. Shefali without makeup on. But I have to say, as a follower of yours, I appreciate that your moments on the social media channel are something that is a small glimpse that somebody can get into your entire world that you're dedicated to, that helps to serve them, right? So it can be a small thing that resonates when you're scrolling, but you like, it's almost like you're reaching your hand out, like, here, if you're feeling this way, or if these, then come along. I have an education for you to consider.
Yes.
And I think it's a challenge to a lot of these people who have platforms and followers to say, look, if it's a portal into you developing your own potential as a person to contribute to a community with whatever gifts you have, then great. But I'm challenging with them along with you. Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And nobody else has to be involved, right?
Yes.
But what are you offering on the other side of that post?
Exactly.
Right?
So it's deep intention. So even if I'm selling a program, right? I have to sell. You have to sell. No problem. But I will make sure that the first half of it, or at least 75% of that sale, will be I'm giving you. And I won't go on there just to take.
No, you always give.
I will first give you something,
Yeah.
and then you can tune me out when it comes to the sales, right? I will always come with the intention that first I serve.
Yeah.
First I'm a servant. First I'm a giver.
Yes.
But then I'll do the marketing, you know?
Right.
And
but you have real programs. Like, that's the thing, is like,
Yeah.
I may be like, okay, you want to see what abs my
Yes.
leg series do?
Right.
Here you go.
Right.
But come and do the leg series, because it'll help
Yes.
your whole health,
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
Right. No, I understand.
And never losing sight of that, I think, has worked for both you and me.
Yes.
And the reason I say it's worked is because look at you and look at me. We're glowing, we're excited, we're happy.
Happy.
That's the work. That's the
Yes.
success.
Yes.
The success is because when I see you, I see a real human being.
Yes.
I see a woman who wants to uphold me, and I want to uphold
Yes.
you. We
Yes.
haven't lost this heart connection.
No.
That's how we know it's working.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about your courses? Because that was something new. Like, I wanted to go take a course. I was
I
like,
have
this is
so
so cool.
much,
The
yeah.
seminars that you're
Yeah,
doing,
yeah.
can you talk a little
Yes.
bit about them? Because anybody can go to them, right?
Yes. So in 3 weeks, I have my in-person summit, and I do one a year.
Okay.
And that's when people come. They make the effort to voyage, to journey.
I do them. I did 2 this summer in the
That's
Hamptons.
key.
Yes.
That's key. So people come, and then they spend 3-4 days with me, and we go really deep into pattern disruption and changing your cultural conditioning and divesting of the ego. It's profound. But then I have many courses online. I have relationship courses, many parenting courses, and then I have a coaching institute. So I started a coaching institute.
So that people can learn
to be like me.
I love that.
Yes. First, I was so nervous because I was in my ego.
Yeah.
Oh, how can they be like me? Oh, they haven't gone to Colombia.
Yeah.
And that was a whole load of bullshit.
Yeah.
It was my ego tripping in fear and lack.
Ego tripping. Please make a t-shirt. I'm sure there's tripping t-shirts, but how about ego tripping t-shirts? That's great.
So once
my ego was tripping.
My ego was tripping. Right? So once I let go of that, I opened up the doors. I train people. Now we have over 300 coaches out there in the world.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's my 10th cohort. And every cohort is 150 to 200 people minimum. So I have so many people out there all over the globe doing this work now of conscious living, conscious parenting, deconstructing cultural paradigms, challenging the matrix, and helping children flourish.
But this is going to be the way that school systems, public school systems, if you get one consciously trained parent in a public school system that gets involved, you're going to change an entire
Yeah.
like so many souls of
Yeah.
the kids, because we've lost our way completely. And now we're being really extra challenged. I think today is very, I mean, I always think that like at every time period, it must have felt polarizing in some way. But today, this moment that we're in feels very, like people are not leading with their hearts.
Yeah.
They're not leading with their consciousness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fear and constriction and bad parenting out there in adult form.
Yeah.
I
What's
feel
happening
like.
today, Tracy, is so, I don't want to be a pessimist, but it's not about optimism or pessimism. It's about pragmatism and realism.
Yeah.
So the reality we're in today is not a good one.
It's not.
Because we're not connected. We're disconnected. We're becoming more indulgent. We're not moving. We're not speaking to each other.
Yeah.
We're hiding behind this virtual reality in our little bubbles,
Yeah.
customizing every single thing from our menus to our Netflix to our everything is tailored. Now, there's a sickness there because it strokes the individual ego so much more, right? Everything is personal now. We're not forced to share. We're not forced to wait.
Right.
We're not forced to be delayed in our impulse gratification.
That's so
it's
true.
instant, addictive, impulsive, entitled.
Yes.
And then we're angry with our children. It's not our children's fault. We have given them all this technology.
Yeah.
And it's dehumanizing us, I think. In fact, I know.
Yes.
And with the advent of AI, and everybody's like, oh, AI, It is going to be the end of the end.
It's
right?
going to be
The end of the end.
terrifying.
Yes.
And our creativity.
Our creativity. Why would I want to press a button and have a novel be written?
Yeah.
Where will the real artists go?
I know.
Right? What a sad thing. Because
It
what
is.
makes us so unique is our process to creativity, the process to creativity. And to rob ourselves of process. Why are we here? To have 10 books? I mean, that's not the point of a life. The point is to go through the process.
And we're just going to be regurgitating very shallow things, you know? I mean, I just think of like poets like Mary Oliver, who I love so much. And I think like, oh my gosh, like her poems make, my soul dance, make me like I can. And I loved her. I get criticized sometimes because I stand at the front of class and I look like I'm just doing it for me.
Yeah.
People say like, oh, you look like you're just looking at yourself and you're only doing this for you. And I'm like, well, she wrote how she wrote her poem from the I perspective, right? And she said that she was criticized because someone was like, oh, well, that's very like, kind of very egocentric. But her response and her risk that she took in that was that, no, I just am humbled to that somebody else might see a flower in the same way. So she wanted the reader, when they were reading it, to think of themselves as the I.
Yes.
And I'm trying to do that same thing where I'm like, no, I'm moving in here for myself.
Yes.
I want you to do that for yourself. And I don't want to be in your space, and I don't want you in my space. I want you more in yourself. So I do think when people are looking at other people's lives or worlds, or trying to subscribe to the parenting model or the perfect life model or the perfect relationship, like I am supposed to look sexy for my partner or this or that, or we have to do date night or else it's going to all unravel or something like that, that they're not in themselves. They're out in the formula.
Oh, 100%. And that's what we are trying to get people away from in the consciousness movement. But the stream is working against us because now we're actually conforming more. Do you notice?
It feels like we're conforming
women
more.
looking more and more the same.
But now I'm also scared by how they're all cooking in the kitchen looking hot. And I'm like, wait, don't put us back in the kitchen looking hot. What are you doing?
Right.
Put him in the kitchen. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's becoming more conforming.
Yes, it is.
Not less conforming.
It is.
So, again, because the underlying formula underneath all social media is instant gratification, validation from the external world, and selling yourself for the money. So at the end, it's the same formula, just a new platform, right? And each iteration of the same formula becomes more and more dehumanizing. We've left our little tribes, right? We left Africa, then we left the tribe, we left the community, we left the joint system to more and more of living in isolation. Materialism, cocooned away from life.
Yeah.
And technology is making it more and more artificial. Like now and very soon, we will barely know what is real and what is fake. We already cannot tell.
I know.
Who looks real and who looks fake.
Right, because a lot of real people look so fake too that the fake ones look like, oh, well, that looks like that person I know has a heartbeat, but they look so fake that I know. But that makes me, doesn't that make you kind of want to age naturally that much more? I mean, you're so stunning, and I thought that you were 10 years younger than me. But doesn't it kind of make you want to?
It makes me want to really be careful.
Yeah, it makes me want to be careful and conservative.
Every decision.
Yes.
Even more. I'm checking my decisions.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing the parody.
That's a good way to put it, checking.
And the parody now that women have created around their beauty. I mean, we've become a parody. I mean, it's not.
Yes.
It's laughable.
Right.
That we're all following the same.
We will
trend.
never see you do a makeup tutorial, right?
No, you will never see me do a makeup tutorial. At all, because even when I put makeup, I have to ask myself, how much are you putting? Why are you doing this? How good do you feel you need to look?
Yeah.
And I'm checking, you know.
Yeah.
I don't get a makeup artist many times.
Right.
And I do my own crappy makeup.
No, you look
because I want to stay at least as real to myself as possible.
Yeah.
And there's a beauty there.
Yeah.
And I think when women sell out for the commercial look, they are actually just really abandoning themselves.
And how does this topic move into your relationship courses? Because your relationship courses to me are so intriguing.
Yeah.
Because I do think that women are confused about what is actually sexy to a properly wired partner that is in their primal essence. Because I only want to be with someone who is in their primal essence.
Yeah. Most of us have lost that. Right?
Yes.
So we don't know what is, so in terms of relationships, I wrote this book called A Radical Awakening when I went through my radical awakening, when I went through a divorce.
Right.
And how I re-understood notions of femininity and masculinity and what is the patriarchy and what is the toxic patriarchy. So I talk about that a lot in my book.
Yeah.
And people are confused. There's nothing per se wrong with a patriarchy or a matriarchy. What's wrong is when either one can become toxic.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't just call everything and blame everything on the toxic patriarchy.
Right.
Because there's a very big toxic femininity here too, and a toxic energy from women here too. We are part of this. And I talk about how we women co-create very often, unwillingly and unwittingly, our own engagement.
Yeah.
We're not just hapless sitting here,
Right.
So, so my relationship courses really help each party to understand their radical co-creation. No one is a victim per se, unless of course you're a victim of domestic abuse.
Yes.
But
we're not talking about
we're not talking about domestic abuse.
Right,
we're talking about simply the victim mentality, the victim story.
Right. Or becoming just unhappy and to where you're not communicating and you're not connecting anymore. Because when you're first connecting with someone and there's all that kind of raw passion that's still natural inside of us, and then the systems become a part of your relationship, and then all of a sudden that rawness is not. That it happens so much to so many people. And
that first instant chemistry is really just our chemicals talking to each other,
right?
And we have to go through that phase, and that's when after that phase we hit the ground, right, and go, hey, who are you?
Who are you? Yeah, right.
Wow,
exactly.
you're just so ordinary. Like, I don't know whether I like you anymore. Right. And many of us then go on to the next dopamine hit.
Yes, and we're really dopamine programmed.
Hungry and programmed, yes. And dopamine is wonderful.
Yeah.
But if we keep cycling through, then we become addicts to the next hit. And there's a great dopamine hit that can emerge from also being with someone and growing together.
Yes.
Although it's less glamorous, right?
Right. But it can be very healthy.
But that is
to us.
healthy.
That
Because
is healthy, yes.
not to stay with someone just because you're with them. And that's not what I'm talking about.
grow
but
with
to grow
someone.
with someone and
Yeah.
try to figure out, well, what's happening here within me? And how can I use this? How can I alchemize this for my greater potential?
Yeah. One of the things that I hope for Penny, my daughter, that in your teaching about the relationships is, or any woman, I hope it for any woman. I don't just look at me. You're like, be careful there before you put that on Penny to carry. Is this sense of self-love and security. Like, I don't need the ring. I don't need to have the kids unless we're having the kids on our growth journey. I don't need the paper. I don't need the perfect home. I don't need the formula. Like, you're very strong in that message. Like, come on, women. You don't need the fairy tale
I don't
as
have
it's
the ring.
laid out.
I don't have the marriage anymore. I'm
Right.
done with that formula.
Right.
I did it.
Right.
Tried it. I wore it. The
Right.
mask. It was a mask.
Right.
And I took it out.
Right.
So you definitely.
I think
don't
Goldie
need it.
Hawn's so cool. She, like, years ago was like, hello, we don't need the formula. I mean, she's just, and if you even look at her even today and the way that she presents herself, she's just really sexy and free, right? Her energy is sexy and free. But that's a tough thing to look. I can name one amazing woman that is like living that,
It's
and you.
on a hand.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I know.
So that, will
Because
you
it
just talk a
takes-
little bit about that for women?
I think when and if women truly penetrate the matrix and understand the game that the matrix plays on them, they will not subscribe anymore. So I have seen through the game it plays on women like us, and I write about it in that book, A Radical Awakening.
You did, good.
So once you see it, you don't subscribe. You're like, okay, you can subscribe and you can subscribe. When I went through my divorce, women would come to me and go, oh, I'm so sorry.
so sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah, but
and I
I'm
think
good.
you're sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
Because no divorced woman is ever sorry.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, I mean, I've been divorced too.
Yes.
And you
do not go through that
Right.
to then be sorry at the end of it.
Right. But my first relationship, I was actually sorry, but that was because I was so young when we fell in love and we truly loved each other. Because of all of the things that you write about, the parenting that both of us had really strong bacteria in our parenting, and we didn't have the tools to grow together through that, but our hearts stayed in love always.
That's it.
Right. So we had that conscious uncoupling, but we could have actually not ever uncoupled had we had the tools to understand. That's another reason why I think everything they're bringing forward is so important, because if people can work out the tangles or, fix their relationship microbiome, right? Then they do that first on the parenting front, or the radical awakening, the relationship part, whatever comes, I think.
Yes.
They both are necessary.
Yes,
right?
yes. And I think that, this whole idea of finding your soulmate, or you're only complete when you're married, they're not serious about you unless they commit to you with a ring and a marriage and a certificate.
We learned to play that game very young, though, as women.
We did.
Right?
We did.
Like, if you're not going to propose, then if you're not serious, I mean,
how ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Because that has nothing to do with the formless essence of love.
I've been proposed to 9 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what does it mean? Yeah, so you're
that?
better than everyone else then, according to No, but according to the story, right? You have many more people serious in you than other people, and it's just a story, right?
It
it's
really
a story.
is a story.
So what we've done in life is taken all the formless elements of life, and we've put categories, boxes, institutions, religious, judicial, marriage, divorce. We've titled, labeled, sanctified,
valued,
rigidified, valued everything with if, then, either, or, good, bad.
Yeah.
And life is not that.
No.
So when you arrive at a place of freedom, that is when you decodify yourself. You're like, you can do good and bad,
Yeah.
and you do right and wrong. And like Rumi said, I live beyond
love
that, right?
Rumi.
So
I'll meet you in the
I'll
field.
meet you in the field, beyond the duality.
Yes.
So when you are more evolved and in your healing, right? You're not better than anyone, just in your own healing.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this good and bad. You're not subscribing. You're not looking for validation. I know people project on me and must be thinking, she's not married. She's so this. But
I could get you 9 proposals around this block. I don't think you're.
Right, but it doesn't even matter to me.
No, I know because you
compassion.
don't. It's so
I'm
true.
Like, don't waste your time on me.
I know.
But do something better with your time than waste it on me.
Yes.
Because you'll never figure me out.
Yes.
So
even the marriage that I'm in today, I viewed the entire process, and we just got married in our garden with our moms. I viewed the entire process as something completely different than I ever did before.
Yes.
Like we chose to do it, but it was from a completely different
place.
Completely different place. Yes.
Where you're free of injunction.
Absolutely.
Of rules, of ritual, of how it should be.
Yeah.
And you are, tailoring it and customizing it to the moment.
Yeah. We're growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Together, and that feels really good.
Yes.
I say this a lot, and I want to know how you feel about this. Because I believe that everything that you do is really part of health. It's just it's one of the most important things. I think that people now are making the food lists. They're doing the meditation. They're checking their Oura ring for sleep. They're checking like those 3 boxes a lot. They don't like to check my box a lot because physical exercise is difficult to do. And I don't know that they're realizing that your box is really, really important to their health. But I really believe this. And I say that your health can handle the hard truth. It cannot handle lies. And I wanted to know how you felt about that.
Yeah, I agree. No, I think that one of the greatest, the greatest disease in us is to live in suppression of our authentic self.
Yeah.
That can create disease because it peters out to every relationship.
Yeah.
With ourselves, with each other, and then we contaminate and pollute it all, and then it reverberates right back to us, right? So Michael Beckwith often says that he likes to take an inner shower before he goes out, right? He does his inner alignment. You get connected. You begin to fall in love with yourself in a very deep way, not in a narcissistic way.
No.
And when
appreciative.
in appreciative, honoring, celebratory way, when you give yourself that self-love, now you don't burden the world with your needs and expectations, and you release your children from ever having to do an iota to make you feel better about yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's really beautiful. I love that. If someone doesn't know who their authentic self is, or they've gotten so far from that, that they're in that robotic system, where should they start?
Well, first, we never arrive at this place called authentic, absolute truth. It's always a work in progress, right?
Correct.
But there are ways to keep arriving at your authentic truth, which has to do with checking in and aligning. So where do they start? They have to kind of grab onto...
In your work, where do they start?
Well, they have to take, somewhere. That's why I write the books. I do the teachings. I give the free meditations. I give the courses. I give the institute. Somewhere they have to ask for the teaching, right? You have to put yourself at the humble threshold of the teaching.
The teaching, right. And how long do you think it takes? To me, it's always a practice. So to me, it's not one seminar.
Yes.
It's really, because you continue to grow and learn. So if I went to a seminar with you this year, is next year the same seminar?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah,
because you're not the same human.
Right.
So even if I was to say the same things, you would come back differently. I practice Vipassana meditation, and the videos for the Vipassana meditation, there's no teacher, there's only videos.
Right.
Same videos.
Right.
For years, decades. But you know why?
Yeah.
Because the practice gets deeper and deeper. And each time you come back to the threshold of the teaching, you are different.
Right.
Right. So I always tell people
Yeah.
that there is no repetition. And if you're hearing repetition, it's because you're stuck.
Right.
You cannot hear the same thing in the
Yeah.
same way at a different time.
Yeah.
You will hear it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've grown.
If you've grown. Yeah. The consciousness is amazing like that. And it takes a long time to get to absorption.
Yeah. Like your movements. Each
Yeah.
time you come back,
Yeah.
you do it differently.
Yes. Well, but I actually do it differently every single week. But that's only because muscles are different than consciousness.
Right.
But and also the way to get them, the way to get to them
Yes.
and to train that neuroplasticity though, is to have a new conversation with them each time. But if you come back to a practice like that, you're going to bring forward all of your
Yes.
experience today
Yes.
to it. So,
Yes.
and also like, you got to work around a joint differently sometimes so we don't wear those things out.
Yeah. But people, you're right, don't realize how, if you work on your healing and your consciousness and really practice some of, say, what I teach or others teach, it can exponentially reverberate throughout your life in a day, like right away.
Right away,
and this is the gold mine, and yet people are not ready for it because it takes inner work. It takes self-accountability,
Character.
courage.
You're spectacular. I could
are.
talk to you for hours and days. So the new book,
The parenting,
Parenting Map,
Yes.
And-
And a radical awakening.
and a radical.
Yes.
Well, they're all phenomenal. They're all phenomenal. Everything that you put forward is phenomenal. And what a great opportunity. How does someone become a coach?
Yes. They look
On
up
your-
my institute. It's a 5-month online program.
Okay.
And I break it down, and you don't have to have any background. I teach you the fundamentals. I
Yeah,
do this
that's
because
great.
I know that every person who comes to my door, at least, has been deeply moved by the work.
Yeah.
Already. through
That's
the
a
books.
great thing. I
So
would
I have a
encourage
great
people to do
selection
that.
process already. You
Yeah.
know, a pre-selection. But yeah, if people want to become a coach and contribute to the world,
But a lot of people want to work from home, and I think that that's something that has become sticky through being post pandemic. Is that people are really valuing like their time and their space and to be able to have your coaching on their resume as a layer is a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
yeah, it's amazing.
I love it.
It's a life-changing course.
Yeah. And I'm going to come to one of your seminars.
You better.
I really am. I'm tempted every time.
Yes.
I'm like, let me check my schedule. I'm going to that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
As always, you can find me on Instagram at Tracy Anderson Method and on Facebook at Tracy Anderson. If you're interested in learning more about how movement contributes to longevity, meet me at tracyanderson.com.